Hey guys, Broheen here again with another mage video for you in Rift. Today is going to be another continuation, sort of a continuation video of another spec that I did, which was the 10-man Pyrocon. What we're going to do today is show you what 61 Archon can do, which is more or less used for groups with 20-man, like your Frozen Tempest, Endless Eclipse, GA if I ever get that far. So pretty much the extra stuff you get, looking at the tree, I believe you get Burning Purpose, Granite Salvo, Archon's Bulwark, and Point to Point. And as you can see, 61 Archon, full, straight up full. You're still going to use Pyromancer. You're going to put 4 in Ignition, and then you're going to put 3 in Burning Fury and 3 in Fiery Concentration. And then you're going to add Harbinger in as well for an increased spell power. A lot of people, again, like I said in the previous video, they'll run Dominator there. Let's see if I can get a preview of Dominator. And what they like is to put Neuroprod in the spam macro, just because when you're moving, you get Searing Vitality. In this case is what I like to use because it'll buff your endurance, but sometimes, in certain times and places, if you have a Bard, Searing Vitality is overridden by one of the Bard abilities. So they'll put Neuroprod instead just to do extra damage. And actually no points in the Dominator tree at all. Other builds will use 12 Dominator instead of Pyromancer, just because of Mana Wrench. You need that. It helps when you're fighting Crucia in FT, but I don't do that. I prefer this a lot more. So into the spec, the only 2 buffs you're going to get is Archon's Bulwark and Lightning Charge. We'll put them on right away here. Then you get, just like in the other spec, Arcane Aegis, Burning Purpose, and Shared Vigor, but now you get Vitality of Stone. Or it's somewhere along that order. I know in the 10-man, you only get 3 of the auras. In this case, you'll get all 4. We still have a main spam ability. We still have Lava Field, we still have Cleansing Flames, we still have Ashen Defense, and Crumbling Resistance and Illuminate, as well as Flaring Power. And in this one, I tend to use Power Drain a little bit more because I only use this spec ever for raiding. It's not very good for, I should say not very good DPS for soloing things or in a 5-man dungeon. People are going to end up having to carry you. The one new ability that you get is Patron's Rage, which, upon using, it's a 6-second channel, does 50,000-ish damage over 6 seconds, and when it's cast, you get to refresh all of the active Archon abilities, or Archon auras. So, we're going to buff up. And this time, because I have my Synergy Crystal on, we get it, 320 spell power. Like earlier, it was only 280 on the other video. As far as anything else goes, we don't really need to explain any of the other stuff to show you this spec, really. I still have the 3 main hard-hitting spells right here just to watch the cooldown, so I can put on Internalized Charge or Power Drain. But I decided to keep Mental Flare and Leeching Flames on here just for mana regeneration. But long story short, the macro is not really too difficult. Trying to think if this is... That's not the one. Here we go. 61 Archon spam. Show Granite Salvo. Suppress Macrofailures. Cast Waning Power. Cast Surging Flare. Cast Volcanic Bomb. Cast Earthen Barrage. Cast Spark Shower. Cast Granite Salvo. Cast Flowing Sand. Cast Countdown. Cast Searing Vitality. And again, I may have forgot to mention in the last video that the reason why I put Countdown and Searing Vitality here is so if you ever need to run around, you can still cast Countdown and Searing Vitality and do damage and give your allies the endurance buff from Searing Vitality. On to the dummies. Which one do we want to pick on today? Here, we'll pick a raid boss dummy. So DPS meter's clear. You're going to start off every time all your buffs. And then just like the other spec, you're going to start off with Ashen Defense, Crumbling Resistance, and Illuminate. That'll debuff the target for 5 minutes, except on Illuminate we got 20 seconds. At this point, start spamming your 61 Archon macro. And you can see over here, the DPS is absolutely horrible compared to the 10-man spec because it lacks a lot of the pyro spells. But this spec does get a little better. What you can do is put on this lava field and then use your flaring power, continue with the spamming. We're at full charge again, so for video purposes I'm going to use internalized charge because I got cooldowns coming off. We let that drain out. See, we're doing, I guess, not so bad. 7,500 DPS. In a full pyro spec right now, I can pull between 11 and 12k. So it's a bit of a hit because the R's actually debuff you, but your abilities buff you and the group back up again, so it's kind of give and take situation. But again, as I also said in the last video, Archon is not meant for you to be primarily DPSing the group. It is strictly meant for buffing the rest of the party so they can do more DPS and debuffing the enemies so they will take more damage. Once you notice here, we got 3 minutes and 22 seconds on all the auras. I'm going to show you Patron's Rage. Zoom out a little bit here. And we're going to hit it. And the mechanic is not showing for some reason. That's kind of funny, but more or less what it looks like is a Withering Flames from the Pyro Tree. But you saw now all my auras are back up to 4 minutes, or 5 minutes. And this is pretty much a rinse and repeat process. All you got to do is just keep spamming the macro, and let's run around here. You're still casting Countdown and Searing Vitality as you're running, so it's very versatile, very movement friendly, only because the Archon's main priority is not DPS. So now, it's up here somewhere. It might not be, but usually your raid will have the Searing Vitality emblem up there, showing how much endurance is buffed on the party. So, as I said before, rinse and repeat. Make sure your lava field is constantly on cooldown. Make sure your flaring power constantly on cooldown. Use them at the same time. It's really nice when you use them both right at the beginning of a fight because everybody usually pops all their cooldown high damaging spells. You'll get the rest of the group to do a ton of DPS that way. So that's it for this spec. I'm going to shut my trap now. When you watch this video, just pay attention to how the macro is done. Again, that'll be put in the description of the video. You can copy and paste it right out of there. And hit the like button, leave a comment if you have any questions. If you don't, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks.